What
You
up,
hear?
folks? Can we hear? I'm going to turn on YouTube just to make sure this shit is working this time. Because, as in Mikey G fashion, love to freaking do this and screw it up. But we're going to double check because I am not going through all of that again without being able to hear me. What
You
up,
hear?
folks? Can we hear?
All right.
I'm going to turn on
It's
YouTube just to make sure this shit
working.
is working this time.
Let's go.
All right.
Because, as in Mikey G fashion, love. All right. So what happened is, since we're just streaming to YouTube, the volume and the sound got messed up, but we can hear it and it's doing great. So thank you all for dealing with Mikey once again screwing this damn stream up. But we're here, we're back, baby, and I'm excited. Not gonna be as long-winded this time. Thank you, E-Man. Thank you, Stargirl, for popping into chat and letting us know that the sound isn't working. Now I'm super paranoid that it's not working, but I do know the sound is working. Bonji's here. Mano who is Mano? Is this
He's
someone?
one of our guys.
Okay, Mano's one of your guys. Awesome. Well, now that you can actually hear me, I'm going to do the short version. And for all of the MetaTopia people that are here, midlife crisis people, you've heard this a bajillion times. I'm going to keep it short. Before we get into the conversation, we're going to have so much fun tonight. I want to talk about midlife just because this video does get recorded on YouTube and people might watch this not live. And what I want to say is midlife crisis is very simple. Maddie and I met in 4th grade at the bus stop. We've known each other for over 30 years. When we started this company, we treated it exactly like that, as a company. We spent over 2 months trying to figure out a mission statement and what we wanted to do with our online brand. And we came down to a very, very simple principle, and that's bringing back the lost art of genuine human connection. Why we think that is important is as we get connected and hide behind social media profiles and get connected in the metaverse, we think what we're about to do right here is going to be a lost art. We're going to be hanging out digitally, more connected than ever. But backstories, getting to understand people at a deeper level is going to be hard to come by. And that's what midlife is here to do. Be kind, pay it forward, and have a blast together. So with that being said, and so exactly what do you want me to call you? G Money? G dollar sign, man? What do you want me to call you?
I love the G Money, but just because I want to be my own identity, my own figure. You know, there's already the other G Money out there. He got to NFTs before me, so G Dollar. I got the ETH name now, so I'm GDollar.eth.
I remember you said G Dollar before, but then I kept on getting confused. I was like, I don't want to keep on calling you the wrong thing the whole time. But before I say hi to G Dollar, he gave me a couple tidbits. Now, people that have been at midlife crisis realize that we introduce people in a different, unique way. And we ask our guests to come on and give us a superlative or a fun fact about themselves. So G Dollar, not G Money, told me a little bit about himself. And one of the things that I thought was really, really interesting is he calls himself an internet cash cow. Dude has been on the internet for 7 to 8 years, making thousands of dollars by many different ways. He used Snapchat spotlights to make money. He's sold Snapchat handles. He sold Twitter handles, and he's done a ton of stuff behind social media, all to make himself some fine dollar bills. So how are you doing, dude? Welcome to the show. People can hear us. Now we're off and running.
There we go. I like to run, baby. No, I'm excited to be here. You know, we were touching on before everybody could hear us. You know, we've been in the works for this about 2 weeks now. You know, kind of talking on the back end and making this happen. So I know this won't be the only time that we'll be up here. You know, not only talking about MetaTopia, but more side of just Web3 overall. And so I'm just pumped, man. I love the energy that you bring, the positivity, and I know it's gonna be a good time. So we're gonna get into it.
I appreciate it, man. That's what we're about. But also we're about authentic, fun, human-centered conversation. And so you're in a seat that very few people get to sit in. So this is a fun question. It's the only question I'm going to ask tonight. How did you get to the seat you're sitting in today? Give us like Star Wars episode 1, 2, 3. You don't have to go as far back as when you were a baby in the crib, but love to hear a little bit about the childhood,
Yeah,
what you did, maybe went to go to college, professional career, and then eventually into NFTs. And then we'll get to Metatopia.
for sure. No, I'll give you the whole saga breakdown,
I
baby, because
love
it's
it. I'm excited. I'm
we've been
excited.
been hustling forever. So I mean, really, I think from a very, very young age, I mean, I had this, entrepreneurial mindset. I wanted to make money in any way I could, and I'm talking snow shoveling, lawn care. Hell, I
Ooh.
think maybe even eighth grade, I might have gotten ballsy and tried to do a lemonade stand. I don't think I've ever seen any boys in the middle school age ever try to do a lemonade stand. It didn't work, but I went out and bought the damn supplies and tried it anyway because I want money, man. I was always hustling for something, right? And when it came to the lawn care side, that was probably early high school, before I really got in any jobs. But I was pulling, and there was one winter, I used to live in Virginia, so that's a little background here because I'm in Phoenix, Arizona now. But
We talked about that. I lived in Arlington for a while.
Yep. And so, I'm from the beach, from the East Coast over there in Virginia Beach,
Mm-hmm.
born and raised. And, dude, any way I could do any type of money out there. So, the big one was snow shoveling. That's where I probably started really making like real money as a kid. I think there was a 3-day span one winter where I made about $7,000. I actually had hired out people from my high school to actually go hit houses for me.
Wait,
I
wait,
was
wait,
used,
wait. You made 7 grand hiring a crew to snow shovel?
I mean, I snow shoveled my ass off. I was
How
probably
how
doing
old were you at this point?
16, 17.
Holy shit, dude. 7
Yeah.
G's is 16's the real
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, I was using apps like Neighborhood app, Facebook groups. I was really big on Facebook for a while. I found a love for Facebook Marketplace early on. As soon as I turned 16, I actually started buying cars on Facebook Marketplace, like just beaters, and I'd clean them up in a day or two as best I could, do some maintenance work with my stepdad, and flip them. And that just kind of snowballed me again. And around that time, early high school, I got into social media. I'd seen these OG usernames on Instagram, and I was so fascinated with people that had the username Tree or Lions or whatever it was, right?
Oh, mm-hmm.
And I wanted one. And so originally, I wanted the username Bought. Like you go to the store and I bought soup or something, but it was
That's
taken already. I
that's
was a
an
little late,
interesting one.
and so I came up with the username Buyed. Buyed. So I thought, okay, well, it's close enough. It's not a word, but it's close. And I actually started doing. I was pretty artistic as a kid, and so I did a lot of painting, a lot of drawing. But I started Bide, and what really kind of got my name in the internet was, Instagram has the tiles, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you got the 3 by 3, for example. That's 9 different posts.
Right.
I would make digital art, whether it was on Photoshop or actually like just random apps on my phone. I would make art and then split it into the metrics. So when you were looking at my feed and scrolling, it was just one endless mural. And it really caught people's attention. I was really hitting like this feed aesthetic that a lot of people hadn't seen early on. This is probably like late 2015. And so that kind of started growing my name in the space. And of course, I had this, interesting username Bide, and I was just talking to the people out there, the ones that were buying and selling these usernames. And I'm talking, there's usernames out there that are getting sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and I wanted in on it. So I started, this was back when Kick was really big as well.
Mm-hmm.
But any type of username I could get my hands on, I thought I could even sell for $5 or $10. I got it because it was just more money to pile in somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Started really on Instagram and Kick. Bought and sold a lot of usernames. There's a lot of forums out there. I was very early to platforms such as like OG Users, Hack Forums, these marketplaces where like-minded individuals were selling anything from Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. For a while, I sold Xbox gamer tags.
Right.
If I could do it and get my hand on it, I was selling it.
Wait. So, where's the marketplace to buy Xbox gamer tags? That's fascinating to me. I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's the thing, man. It's like I said, one of the big platforms I used for a while was OGusers.com. I'm not sure if they're up still now. I don't really dabble in a lot of the buying and selling anymore.
Would you
I think
in like Reddit? People would do it on Reddit and stuff too,
I didn't.
or
I was actually very late to Reddit. I don't think I
uh,
got into Reddit until I really turned about 20 years old, which is a year ago. So that's another fun fact. I'm only 21 years old,
oh
sitting
my
here today.
god, dog, you are the
Yeah,
young buck.
I'm a little young.
No, you're not
And
young,
so
man. I'm old for this space, apparently.
yeah,
So
but you're here early, and that's what matters.
Absolutely. Dude, I love this mentality and this mindset. Okay, keep on going. Keep on going. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I mean, realistically, like I said, if I could make money in real world and in the digital world at the same time, I was happy. So I really ran with that. Like you mentioned, I've just tested and innovated with so many different ways of making money. So, when Snapchat released, TikTok was one of the biggest breaks in social media, I think, when it came out, right?
Right.
And you see these other platforms, they started copying it. Snapchat actually, they brought in the Snapchat Spotlight. And so, it's the same thing. You just scroll and watch videos, scroll and watch videos. And they were paying people $1 million a day to post on Snapchat Spotlights. And based off of your engagement, you would get a cut of the $1 million. So you wanted to post the most engaging videos ever so you could get the most clickbait, the close, views and all those metrics to get a portion of that $1 million.
Right.
So I'm gonna be honest, I was never a content creator. It was really hard for me, which is interesting now because I feel like the position I'm at here at Dev Team 6 is a somewhat content creator. I was never a big fan of making content myself, so I actually went and just took videos off of TikTok. I would just look at the stats on TikTok For You page, download the videos without a watermark, and post them on Snapchat Spotlight. They ended up one day, I didn't believe it would actually ever happen. I was just reading it. There's headlines about 18-year-olds making $20 million or $5 million,
Right.
whatever they're
Right.
making. I didn't think it would ever happen. 2 months after I had posted a video, I got about 500,000 views on Spotlight. And about 2 months later, I get a message from Team Snapchat. And they're like, hey, congratulations. Your video has earned you some money. And I was like, okay. And 2 weeks later, they messaged me and they're like, okay, like that one got you $1,000.
What?
And sure enough, like they sent me a link for me to go claim it all. I got paid. It went through my bank account. And I just kept
Wow.
going. I made a few thousand on Spotlight, Twitter, same thing. Early on, I was doing SoundCloud. I used to do
Right.
rapper fan pages,
Okay.
and I would grow those fan pages, and then I'd start doing SoundCloud reposts. I'd have a company SoundCloud that was kind of with it, and start promoting for other artists in SoundCloud that had similar music.
How do you
Um,
grow a SoundCloud page? I'm very interested in this.
so my tactic, and it's probably not the most best looked at, but I was actually a big example was Lil Uzi Vert. It was about a 2-year time period where he wasn't posting any music,
Right.
but I could get my hands on his leaked music, and so I would grow a SoundCloud
Uh,
with his leaked music and gain hundreds of thousands of views, hundreds of followers, and then be able to turn around and say, "Hey guys, like I got traffic here. Give me 25 bucks
oh,
for a repost. Give me 50 bucks for a mention, like
yeah.
whatever could do." And some of the times too, like I actually had SoundCloud usernames. I had at one time I had the SoundCloud username Fart early on, but people
Dude.
gravitated to that. You know what I mean? That's the thing about the power of social media is like if you have something eye-grabbing and unique,
Right.
people gravitate to that all day long.
Right.
An example of that I worked with for a very early on. I don't know if you've ever heard the rapper named Snot.
No, I have not.
So early back in, I think late 2015 as well, we were talking, but he didn't really know what he wanted to do, but he wanted to be a SoundCloud rapper.
Right.
And we searched him and found he wanted to call his fans Tissue Gang. And I was like, why don't you just name yourself like Nose or Snot? And he was like, oh, I like Snot. So we sourced the username Snot for him early back in 2015. He's
Uh,
now sitting around 1 point something million followers. But it's that eye-grabbing, unique content, right? It was all in the username, I think. And so that's what I did, and I kind of took those skills that I had throughout, high school, developed them into a resume, and I actually got a college scholarship to a local community college. It's nothing that anybody's ever heard of. So I went to school on a scholarship for 3 semesters. I was going for computer science originally. I knew, you know, tech coding is the
right.
future, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, my first semester was a breeze. Second semester, I thought I was dying. I couldn't get through it. Coding was not for me, is what I learned.
Ooh, I'm with you, dude. I tried a coding course. Ain't cool.
It's rough. Like my brain just doesn't wire that way. Maybe I don't
Uh-huh.
know. And so I did switch. I switched after my second semester to business, and I did one more semester, and that's when COVID hit. And I couldn't do the online part. Trying to learn calculus from a teacher on Zoom for
Right.
1 hour. I'm not good at math.
Yeah.
Learning calculus like that, not going to work.
Right.
Um, so I dropped out. And at that time, I was like, all right, well, I
Shit,
really need to
man.
figure out. I think I was about 19 at that time.
Yeah.
And so I was really trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? And so I knew I had this, this resume of, very unique social media skills, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I kind of said I dressed it up even more, and I just started cold targeting companies in Virginia, actually, whether it was barbershops, whether it was flower stores,
Mm-hmm.
funeral homes, anybody that I thought, needed some social media presence that may
Right.
not know how to do it themselves. Like, hey, here's, I'm innovative. Like, I will literally do anything to get some eyes on your content and your product.
Right.
Was not very successful. I went through about 4 or 5 companies, that were in the talks with me. I got very, very close to working with somebody who was starting up a gym, and I was super pumped. I came out, and he wanted me to develop an entire social media strategy, how he would push out this launch of his brand new gym he was buying. I did all the work, put in a lot of hours for about 2 weeks, and he ran off with it. Ended up not hiring me, and I was pretty butthurt.
Oh,
I
son
took a
of a
vacation.
dude, you got rugged in real life, dog.
Yeah, I
Mm.
needed a vacation after that because it had been a good few months, probably about 5, 6 months, doing this. Just, I mean, dude, literally, I have logs. I have so many notebooks in my closet just where I was writing down different companies, different names. I
Right.
mean, I just go through and just see everything I was doing. And so I took a vacation. I came out to Arizona, actually,
Mm-hmm.
uh, originally for a weekend. I had a couple friends out here. I really enjoyed it, and I actually ended up staying for 2 weeks. I didn't want to go home.
Right.
So I go back home after my 2 week, endeavor, and I realized I wanted to move to Arizona. I didn't have anything out here but a couple friends. All my family is back home in the East Coast, and but I just knew it was something I wanted to do. I was always drawn to Arizona State. I
Right.
really like the Sun Devils. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
if I could find a way to get out there and get myself into school, I'd go back to school. So I get out here. I made it all work. I got a roommate. One of my old friends from middle school actually was out here, so we got a studio. It was pretty tight for a little while. We had a 6 month lease on a studio, and I moved out here. I drove across the country, packed
Mm-hmm.
up my Ford Fusion, and that's all I had. Within 3 days of being in Arizona, though, I got a job offer from Carvana. And so I'd gone through, I wanted the quickest way to make money. So I went to a temp agency, and they saw my resume with the social media skills. And they're like, we've been trying to fill this role for Carvana. And if you're not familiar with Carvana, they're an online retail used
I
car.
sold my car to Carvana, brah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the future and it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, dude,
it's,
it was unbelievable how easy it was.
yeah.
I was blown
Oh,
away, dude.
mhm. So yeah, they were looking basically at the time. They needed somebody to manage their Google, their Yelp reviews, all their negative complaints, anything that was like three
Yeah.
stars. Or they needed somebody to be in there, logging them, tracking them, and then responding back. And of course, I was like, dude, a Fortune 500 company trying to hire me at 20 years old, like I'm in this, right? Like let's go.
Yeah.
So I did the temp gig with them for about 3 months, and they
Mm-hmm.
brought me on board full time.
Yeah.
And I started working inside of their social media department. So I got to work with their Facebook team and their Twitter team,
Nice.
a lot of branding, a lot of posting,
Yeah.
and then a lot of Twitter support. Just kind of working with customers. When you're delivering, they were delivering back then probably about 3,000 cars a day.
Right.
And so my job was to be talking to the people that, were on Twitter shouting nasty things, making sure that our post was aligning with what was going on and, the community sense of everything. And I really enjoyed that because, what I mean? It felt good to be so young working for them and doing what I was doing based off of, no college real experience, right? Like it
Right.
was all
Right.
taught. So I was super excited. I loved it. And I was there for about a year. And I'll be honest, I burnt out from the corporate structure. It
Oh,
just, it was, it's,
been in it
yeah,
my whole life, dog.
it's, it's not the move. So yeah, I started looking for new jobs. I got back. I went home December of 2021 for about 3 weeks and worked remotely and realized I really hated the job at that point. And I came back to Arizona. I got COVID just like you were talking about early on in this year. And as soon as I kicked COVID's ass, I decided, all right, got to find a new job. So I spent
Mhm.
about 2 months. I think when did I start here in this seat? I don't know. We'll get there. But yeah, I spent about a month and a half, 2 months looking for a job. And I'm talking, I probably applied to over 1,000 places
Right.
because I knew I had time. You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of make sure that the next one was what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was up north in Arizona here, and I got an Indeed message that was like, social media for crypto. And I was like, all right, like,
Right.
I've been in crypto for at that time in the beginning of this year. I've been in for about 2, 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
That's just majority of buying big tokens, Bitcoin, Cardano, ETH, just like the top 10. But just been dollar cost averaging. Now I'll tell you where I messed up in life was early on back in 2016 when people were trying to pay me for my social media usernames in Bitcoin.
Oh yeah. I
I was
mean,
like, I don't want that. I was young and dumb. I didn't understand it, and I was like, I want
people
Cash
were
App. I
trying to
want
pay you in Bitcoin though?
Bitcoin. Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. And I didn't understand it fully, and I kind of turned it around and started buying on my own,
Right.
towards my high school years. At that point, never too late. We're early, but
Right.
man, I
Right.
was I wish I was accepting Bitcoin back in 2015.
Listen,
Uh,
man, if I'll tell you, we've, like I said, I've talked to over 100 founders at least at this point, and I can't tell you how many of them said, I had a ton of Bitcoin and I sold it at $200 and I thought I was the best investor ever. It's just hindsight's 2020, right?
you just learn.
But to your point, man, I mean, you've already started to carve out a career without a college degree. College degree this day and age is, dude, that's gaming, man. And I'm so excited to continue to hear this story.
Yeah. Thank you. And that's what I've really tried to do is set myself up to be in a position where I won't need to go back to school, right?
Hmm.
And I've kind of started to really carve that out. And so when I found this Indeed message, I was reading through, social media for crypto and kind of intrigued. I'm reading through the details and it was like crypto knowledge preferred but not required. And I'm like, well, I know a little bit about Bitcoin. I know ETH.
Right.
I was never into NFTs until about probably I don't know, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. I didn't know really anything about NFTs other than you can mint them and they look like monkeys most of the time.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, but I said, why not? So I applied. I was, on vacation up north, and they hit me up immediately. They said, come interview, and I was like, all right, cool. And interviewed in the same night. They called me like, we want you to start next week, and I'm like, well, I got 2 weeks, at Carvana. Let me do that, and we'll be over. So at the end of February is when I started here with Dev Team 6, and so Dev Team 6. That's a fully doxed team of, experts in every matter. And that ranges
Okay.
from full stack devs, Solidity devs, graphic UI, UX designers, marketing professionals, content writers, customer service, everything. So I started out here doing social media, maintaining the brand on all of our social media platforms.
Uh-huh.
And this majority in the token space. And so that's where Dev Team 6 has been at. They've been in blockchain for about 10 years. But they've been in the token, developing in the token space, primarily BSC, Binance. Um, but I forgot where I was going with that. Totally lost my train of
No,
thought.
no, you're part of Dev Team 6. It's totally cool. And where the company really got their start was in the Binance. But before we go there, it's okay. This is a comfortable break for me because you just said a lot of awesome stuff. And I
Okay.
want to go back because I'm not letting you out of the woods yet because you said some really, really interesting stuff that I want to dive into. One, um, this what is the right word? This hunger or just like constant urge or fascination with making money and money online, particularly when you were younger. Where do you think that came from? Was that always part of who you were? I mean, going back to like, when you're in elementary school, middle school, were you always trying to hustle? Like, or did that come from somewhere?
That's literally been me, man. I can think back to when I was probably 6, 7, or 8, somewhere in that time span.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I was getting an X-ray, but I had to go get an X-ray.
Uh-huh.
And my grandma went with me, and I was throwing a fit. I didn't want to get on the X-ray table. I
Okay.
was bitching. And she goes, if you get up there and take your picture right now, I'll give you $50. You best believe my ass jumped up on that table quicker than lightning. And that's some of the stories that my family likes to tell a little bit about just where my mindset's always been.
Interesting.
If I
Hmm.
could, if I could get my hand on some money, man, it was just, I don't know, it's wired in my brain a little bit, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that does like, is your family the same way? Your parents the same way, or more just like this is a natural? Like, was your dad an entrepreneur or a finance person? Are there any other influences there in your upbringing that might have impacted that mentality?
Yeah, that's a good question because no, my dad was actually growing up. He was a French teacher, high school
Okay.
French teacher. Later, as I got closer to graduating high school, he actually switched over and started doing cybersecurity, which was really cool to kind of see him go through that certification process.
Right.
And I got to see some, and that's kind of I think what sparked my interest originally in computer science was I was like, he's making buku money over there in cybersecurity for these private companies. I'd love to
Hmm.
do that. Wasn't my thing. And
Yeah.
my mom herself, she's been an attorney for my entire life.
Okay.
She's never been focused on money. It's something, not saying that we I grew up well off,
Yeah.
decent enough.
Yeah.
But it was never my parents' focus. I don't think I ever got paid for chores. Maybe a couple different times where they tried to do some systems like that, but
Right.
no, I mean it was really just a me thing, and I don't know what it is other than I was just born this way.
Yeah. No, no. And that's an answer, right? Like there are some people that are just hardwired to believe or think or, have. I always like to use this example of do you have your computer monitor or sound turned up a little? Because I hear myself echoing in the background.
Yeah, you turn it down
Yeah.
a little bit
Maybe you turn it down just a little bit.
better.
Um, okay, cool. That I think that'll work. But for instance, greatness in my mind comes from someone that works their ass off, but also has a knack for it. Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods because he's the hardest worker in golf, but he also just has a natural ability for golf, right?
Yeah,
And I'm using that analogy to say you are really fascinated and interested in money, right? There's that something inherently about you came out and created that kind of hustle mentality. I mean, listen, man, when I was 16, I was drinking Mountain Dew, shoving pizza in my face, playing video games. I was not thinking about collecting a team so I could make 7 grand shoveling snow. I promise you that. And this is, Maddie and I, when someone your age, talking to you at 41 is just it's mind blowing to me the way that you think because I was so far from that at your age. And dude, if you keep that mindset going, the possibilities are endless. And that kind of segues into my next point is how did your family and not even your family, but it's very rare that people buck the trend at this day and age when you are just pretty much told that by default you have to go to college because that's what you do, right?
yeah.
You're 21. You're actively building a plan not to go to school. What are the perceptions? What are the feedback? What do your friends and family say to you when you tell them this narrative? I'm just really interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. So my mom and dad actually met each other at university, at William and Mary over in Virginia, Williamsburg.
I know
It's
that my buddy went to
one of the
law school
oldest,
there.
yeah, one of the oldest,
Yep.
universities in the country, founded by the UK over there, way back when, 1600s. So, and then from there, she graduated and went up to Villanova for law
Mm-hmm.
school. And so she was very big on, college, college, college. And, I was very good in school. I took a lot of AP classes, a lot of college courses. I took those AP exams. I did everything that she kind of pushed me to. I was in 3 different honor societies, vice president of one. I was very extracurricular. I played sports for 13 years. I was always hustling in school, and that was really because of my mom. I got a tattoo here for her, because of her. I will not fail because I mean, really, she instilled this drive to just reach your potential, right? And so I don't think, if I'm honest, if she hadn't pushed me like she had pushed me back in high school, especially,
Right.
I would have never gotten to where my potential is right now.
Right.
I just know that, it's a tendency for a teenager to slack off and want to go have fun. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying I didn't get to have that opportunity. I had lots of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the same time, she really pushed me to be where I was at. And so when it came time for college, I wanted to go. But I didn't want to pay for it. And so I
Right.
did look at, I played lacrosse for 13 years.
Right.
I looked at a couple different scholarship options. There weren't anything that was really, catching my eye. And so I was like, I'm not going.
Right.
And so I did end up getting this community college. And at the time, I can remember, she was, I don't think disappointed. She was very happy that I got the scholarship, but she was like, oh, but you could still go to university at Virginia Tech or
Right.
still do this. I'm like, but mom, I have to pay for that.
Yeah.
And I don't have the money for it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have
I
60,
don't
80
want that.
thousand
Yeah.
dollars to go pay for a piece of paper. Like my idea was if I'm going to school and college,
Right.
it's got to be paid for. Otherwise, I'm not doing it.
So I
Um,
love that mentality. What was her response to that? I'm interested.
at the time, I mean, she was accepting. I
Yeah.
mean, she was still for a good while. I remember she was pushing on universities, and I was like, look, like this is where I'm going, and she was happy with it. She supported it,
Yeah.
and so I did it. The plan originally was to do my 2 years at community college for
Right.
free.
Right.
You know, find out what I was doing at the time. I was also working at a restaurant, probably 50 to 60 hours once I graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
Was making really good money at this restaurant. I mean, man, I used to love serving tables because
Dude,
I
me
could work the
too.
crowd.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I mean, she was very. It took her a second to kind of turn to it,
Right.
and I'll be honest, I really don't remember any of my parents' reactions to me dropping out of school. I
Mm-hmm.
remember, growing up, a lot of times my dad did say that was going to happen.
Right.
He was like, "You're going to go to school, and you're probably not going to finish." At the time, I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. He always mentioned it in a good way. He's like, I say that because you're going to go find some idea or something, and you're just not going to need to. And I'm like, okay.
Right, right. No,
And
but
so,
that's cool. That's he's saying it in a positive light, and knowing that your dad was a teacher, right? Is that what you
yeah,
said? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, coming from that you were an honor roll student, you were doing well in school. That's actually a compliment. And did you interpret it that way at first, or
Well,
no?
100%. No,
Yeah,
I mean, probably inspired me a little bit. You know what I mean? I was like,
right.
I might have been just being totally open. I was probably a little nervous back then, thinking when I heard stuff like that, because my family saw the drive. You know what I mean? They knew what
Mm-hmm.
I had.
Mm-hmm.
When they said stuff like that, I'm like, shit, if I don't drop out of school and find some $1 million idea, I'm screwing myself.
Right, right, right.
And so I think it might have increased some pressure for me.
Yeah,
Um, so
interesting.
I remember him, when I dropped out, he's like, well, I called it. And my mom, not so much. But she was totally happy. I think she was very nervous, especially at the time I dropped out of school and I'm like, yeah, I'm moving 2,300 miles away.
Right, right.
I'm moving out.
Yeah,
And so, I mean, it was definitely an interesting change of events, I mean, flying the nest and kind of going this route straight out of, leaving college,
right.
not finishing. I didn't even finish my associate's degree. But of course, I kind of started climbing the ladder in Carvana. I climbed pretty quickly there, and they kind of saw that and really, really, were supportive.
Yeah.
And it was a hard decision. I'll be honest. When I jumped from Carvana to Dev Team 6, and I'll tell you right now, I'm never jumping. I'm here for life. Um,
It's
but when I
almost
made that decision, I was scared, man,
right,
because I didn't
right.
know. I'm leaving a very stable Fortune 500 company that's traded on Wall Street
Mm-hmm.
or a crypto company. Like, what's going to happen? And so
Right.
that was some fear, and they kind of consoled me through. And were like, this is where people like you though really find their path. Like, you need this, and I was like, okay.
Absolutely, dude.
Uh,
Hearing your mentality, it's a great move. Space is brand new. Um, Believe it or not, we've already almost been talking for an hour. So I wanna be cognizant of your time. I
You're
do
good,
wanna
man.
I do wanna ask one more question, and then we can kind of get into Dev Team 6. Which, by the way, I love that. I feel like you're part of like a Call of Duty clan or something. Uh, Dev
We're pretty
Teams.
badass.
Like I love that they're using that kind of like squad mentality. That's pretty cool. Um, you actually peel back the onion just a little bit, and you said that your mother was instilled drive in you, and was always pushing you to be great. What how did that manifest itself? Was it like her more guiding you as this is the right way to do things? Was she just always like really hard on you getting your homework done? Like, can you talk to me about that, because it's obviously seeped into your mentality? Is there anything that resonates with you looking back as to how they really just instilled that mindset in you?
Yeah, she was never real strict. Like, I think I had it pretty easy going compared to a lot of probably teenagers growing up.
Right.
But she kept it real. You know what I mean? She was blunt,
Right.
and she told me, you know what I mean? Like, you gonna do it or you not? And if you don't, like, what else are you gonna do? Yeah,
Right.
it was,
Right.
and she spoke truth, you know what I mean? Like, and I think, my parents raised me to think on my own, and I think that's huge because, I mean, just being honest, I think a lot of, my generation and even the younger generations aren't really raised up to think for themselves.
Yep.
It's a sad truth. I think a lot of social media plays into that. As much as I love social media, I could go on a rant all day with you about how bad it is for society as a
It's
whole.
horrible for society.
Terrible.
Yep.
But it makes me some nice money and gets my face everywhere. So
Right.
can't complain, right? So I mean, realistically, it was never like, she didn't check my homework log. She wasn't doing anything. I can say like one example was my junior year of high school. I didn't want to take any AP classes. That's when I first started taking AP classes. I didn't want to do it. I was like, it seems too hard. I don't want to have to read a chapter a night. I don't want to, I was being a lazy teenager, right? Like,
Hmm.
and she's like, look, like, I'm not telling you have to, but you kind of have to. Like, you're going to take this class.
Right. Right. Right.
All right. I took the class and I did it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, it was never a firm guideline or a firm, holding my hand. Like, she really kind of let me figure it out on my own, but she also kept it real enough with me, and we got to have open conversations enough to where I understood where she was coming from. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And that was important.
Yeah.
And that's something that I bring into a lot of my mentality is I'm pretty blunt. I'm straightforward. I know where I'm trying to go. I think that's kind of where she put me at. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, look for the future. And I think back, in everybody's teenage years, you're not looking for the future.
Right.
And so that's something that I think really kind of rubbed off is I'm not looking for the next 2 years. I'm looking
Hmm.
for the next 5, 10, 15. Like, where am I
Hmm.
going to be at when I'm 30?
Hmm.
Uh, the goal is to hopefully be retired, but we'll see.
Yeah, dude, that was that. I mean, Matt and I had that mentality in the mid 20s. Maddie was going pretty hard. I kind of went I took the whole corporate path, but I fortunately, I worked pretty hard and had some cool jobs throughout the way. But I actually I love your answer, man, because I don't think people hear this enough. I wrote this down. We're gonna make a YouTube video off of that response because I think. Um, like you said, this day and age, one, people don't think for themselves. That's literally, we have 4 pillars to lead up to genuine human connection, and one of them is think first. It's literally that is one of our pillars, right? Um, but the other thing that I think you said you do not hear enough is actually your mentality came from having flexibility. And I associate, so when Maddie and I grew up, shit, bro, we could go a mile and a half from the house and my mom would be like, be home at 8, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't go off the front yard this day and age to play when you're a kid, right? And so, like, that inherent trust that my parents had in me allowed
Yeah.
me to be creative and explore and try new things, and that is so critical. And I
Yes.
think that and the social media combined create like kind of an atomic bomb of people not being able to be as creative, not being able to be as analytical. And like those are skills that are lifelong skills. So it's so cool for you to say and hear you say that that is what you think helped and mold your mindset. I couldn't agree more, man. So
Yeah.
awesome response.
No,
Awesome
that's
response.
it's a valid point, overall, I think like when I made this jump to Arizona, I was, like I said, I was scared.
Yeah.
Same way I was scared when I made the jump, between my first career jump there. But I knew when I moved out here, for example, that if it didn't succeed, I had the support from the ones that had pushed me to be where I was at, and you
Hmm.
just do it again. I'm not
Right.
afraid of failure. So run it back, find another way, and do it again, right?
Dude, I love it. I
I'm
love it.
always up.
Dude. And by the way, people are loving your chat so much. I mean, dude, this is the first time we stream on YouTube. We're almost 30 strong already, dude.
No, baby. Hey,
People keep on racking up. You're just drawing them in, dog.
can we incentivize them to get it up to 50, and I'll give away
Oh,
I'll give away a next NFT. I need to get everybody out there tweeting, man. Tell the chat, tweet it out. Let's
Dude,
go.
tweet it out. All right, so I don't have ClownBot hooked up for YouTube, but I will say, what can we do? How can we're gonna have to think about that. Star and God, let me know if there's an interesting way that we can give out an NFT, knowing that I don't have CloudBot and I'm not running marbles. That's just not happening tonight. I don't feel like running marbles. We'll figure out something. But yes, we're gonna give out an NFT faux
Oh,
show.
for sure. But if we hit 50, if we could hit 50 on the stream tonight, I would give away a VFriends trading card box to the audience too.
Oh shit.
I'm just saying.
All
It's
right.
there.
VFriends trading card, and then we will. How do we give it out? You know what we'll do? Because you can when you replay, when you replay the stream, you actually see the chat.
Yeah.
Actually, no, this is what we'll do. Can you comment on a live stream? You can't comment on a live stream. That's unfortunate. Actually, that's what you'll do. When this, we'll do this at the end. Once we hit 50, if we hit 50, we're gonna give that out, and then we will explain what to do. But basically, when this stream ends, it goes to the archives on our YouTube immediately, right? And for you to be eligible for that VFriend giveaway, you're gonna have to comment on the YouTube post, and then we will pick somebody that has the most interesting comment.
If we hit 50.
If we hit 50, you guys better start tweeting, sending it out, shouting it out. And they all need to be smashing that subscribe button. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep on going. So, dude, like I said, one question. We're now talked for pretty much an hour. Amazing content already. Really appreciate you sharing your childhood, your backstory. Really, really interesting comments and interesting insight there. Let's get to the Web3 story, and then we'll get into MetaTopia. So not even before I know you work for a crypto software company at this point. What's your personal Web3 kind of crypto story?
Yeah. Like I said, early on, I saw Bitcoin, I saw Ethereum, and people sending, that as payment, but I didn't really understand the whole wallet. I didn't know what a blockchain was for sure. So I didn't really partake. But I think around late 2018, early 2019, I got a Coinbase account just to see what it was.
Right.
And I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, and I think I might have held it for like 4 or 5 months, and it went up. It went up, and I was like, damn, this is really cool. 'Cause, I wasn't into stocks
right.
At all. I didn't understand any of that. And I was like, this is really cool. So of course, then I just wanted to put a little bit of money in everything. So if it was Stellar, XRP, ETH, Cardano, Solana, Matic, I just put a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, because I wanted to kind of test and just, experiment and be a part of as much as possible. I started to read. I think, honestly, I'll tell you truthfully, I never understood crypto or Web3 like I do until I've sat in this chair now for 6-7 months that I have been.
Right.
I never really fully grasped the concept. Like, I could never explain what a blockchain was or like what a wallet. I don't think I really had a wallet until 2020, a non-custodial. So yeah, I just bought little amounts and I got really intrigued into it, and I saw the future of it. I really did. I was like, man, like I do believe in the next 10 years, this stuff is just going to be the next big thing. You know what I mean? And it's still so early. Look at what it's done in the last 7 years, right? So I just started dollar cost averaging. Bitcoin, ETH was probably my main, Cardano as well. Those were my top 3. And I was just probably buying $50 a week on Coinbase of each one. And that's all I wanted to do, and just let it sit there. I had no intention of ever flipping it, trading it, none of it. I just wanted to have it and hold it. And so that's what I did. And then I stopped dollar cost averaging probably somewhere around late 2020. And I just do big buys at that point. I just do, whenever I could, I'd throw chunk in, chunk there.
Okay.
And that's the extent of it, really. Like I said, never was into NFTs. Don't think I really understood how they worked or what the purpose was. I was always like, yeah, okay, nice JPEG.
Right.
But then I started with Dev Team 6. And like I said, originally, it's funny now even to look at my first month with the company, because I've changed and learned so much that I'm now looking back. I'm like, dang, I was a noob. I didn't know
Right.
anything. I can look at events that were happening in the first month that I was here, and I'm like, damn, if I had the perspective I did now, I would have seen
Right.
that in a whole different light. So,
Hmm.
getting to be a part of the token space on Binance with the team here, and kind of learning about DeFi trading, and
Right.
we have our own decentralized exchange. It's called PiSwap. It is a next evolution in swap technology, in my humble opinion here. I
Hmm.
can touch on that a little bit, as
Yeah.
we get into tech. But so PiSwap is the DEX, and I got to play around with the tokens, and I bought into a couple. They showed me how to send these tokens around with my MetaMask, and got to actually learn what staking was and how these pools and farms are different, and different ways to earn income. And I love it, because I'll be honest, I don't like centralized things at all.
Right.
Whether that's a bank, a government, I'm not a fan. You look at, like, Canada. I think early this year is when Canada shut down bank accounts.
Right.
That anybody they deemed needed their bank account shut down. That's wrong as fuck.
Yeah,
That's wrong.
that's
I don't like
fucked.
that.
No, that's not
And
cool.
so that's what really draws me into Web3, is that decentralized aspect. Recently I've been traveling. We went to Las Vegas, most recent, and we were in LA for two different NFT conferences.
Yeah.
And getting to be in these rooms with these other people from all over the world,
Hmm.
man, the decentralized life is the best life, man. Everybody's so humble, so
So good.
accepting, so easygoing, and it's just
Hmm.
been a wonderful time kind of to get into deep dive and continue learning.
Yeah, no, I love that. And the corporate world hasn't been able to suck all the joy out of it yet. It'll, unfortunately, we will get there. Let's not kid ourselves. Amazon, Google, Facebook, Meta, whatever they're called, they will figure this space out, and it will corporatize it, right? But to you, you are literally getting a college degree in life right now, because
Yeah.
guess who Meta's gonna hire 6 years from now? You or me or somebody else, right? Like, they're gonna need the people in this space if you want to go that route. It seems like you're pretty happy there, and let's get into that. But before, so one question before. I want to hear about your NFT journey specifically. Do you remember the first NFT? Do you remember what
Yes.
Because everyone thinks JPEG, right? And they're like, this is stupid. What made you kind of dive in head first?
Yeah. So kind of not like everybody else. I don't think I didn't buy anybody else's collection, actually. My first NFT, so about a month and a half into my start here, I needed to make a name. And so
Ah,
our token's birthday was coming up. We had been on chain for about a year. And so
right.
I decided it'd be cool to throw a metaverse party. I found somebody that owns a bunch of land in Decentraland, and
Uh-huh.
he actually has an entire conference center, and he rents it out. He is a 65-year-old man. His name's Carl. He's a genuine man.
I want Carl on the show, man.
We will get him on the show. He would love to be here. But he back in 2017, he bought a bunch of land in Decentraland for
Okay.
cheap ass Ethereum,
Uh-huh.
and started building out this massive database and all the structures in the metaverse. And he calls it the Decentraland Conference Center. And he rents it out to users for their parties, their events, whatever it may be. And when I found him, he was renting out about 5 to 6 venues a week. And
Wow.
we're talking on a minimum, each venue, not including what you throw in the package, probably about $500. So he's
Wow.
making nice side income. He's full time somewhere else in cyber, but that's his side hustle. So I found him on Twitter, and we threw a metaverse party. I ended up actually, I wanted to kind of celebrate it right, and so
Right.
I came up with the idea. Started working with our graphic designer Adonis, and we came up with the Pies Wild One NFT. And so every attendee, because you can control, you can collect all of the ETH addresses that attend your event within a radius. So we throw this massive event. We actually broke his daily attendance record. It was a 2-hour event, and within 2 hours, we brought in almost 500 people. He was like, "That's the most I've ever seen in this
Dude,
entire
that's
place."
awesome.
Yeah, so he loved it. We loved it, and about 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the metaverse party, we airdropped these NFTs. So that was actually the first NFT I ever got, was my own, that we kind of set up
Dude,
here for the party.
what a cool story. You are the first one. And again, I mean, what blows me away is um some of the coolest, like most interesting uh stories like that come from the younger audience in this space. I mean, I still think an NFT is a business, and to run a successful business, you need experience and stuff. But someone like yourself, what's different from a 50-year-old person getting into this space is instead of buying it, you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna throw a party in Decentraland. We're gonna make an NFT. Like, how
Yeah.
cool is that, man? Like, just uh props to you, dude. So, and then from there, did you get into the whole degen buying and selling, or you never went down that route?
I've never gone down that road.
Okay.
So I'll be honest, I think the only NFT that I hold in my wallet, and man, I'm exposing myself, but
No, it's
whatever.
okay.
The only NFT I hold in my wallet at the time, as of like 2 weeks ago, was Not Okay Bears. Everything else is, oh, and I had the NFT there. So I got an NFT pass when I went to Los Angeles for an after party. It was this NFT3. They're a company that they're club promoters, but you buy their NFT and you get access to all of their events.
Right,
So we
right.
got into their after party there, and they were actually the ones that threw the Las Vegas convention in hoots with Blue Chimps NFT.
Okay.
So that got me access. So I think Not Okay Bears and the NFT three pass are the only NFTs that I actually have in my wallet that I've bought myself.
Right.
And yep, but I've never been into flipping or trading them. I don't think I got real degen. I think I haven't gotten real degen until the last month and a half, honestly.
Yeah.
That's because we are a full stack company here. We're just
Right.
25. We're all professionals.
Hmm.
And coming from the token space, it's a little different.
Yeah.
I think to highlight the most degen thing I've done in NFTs so far. I've been doing an AMA tour for MetaTopia, so I've been in about probably 30, 40 Twitter spaces
Right.
over the last few weeks. And I had one with Dahlia cats. And so Dahlia cats, literally their bio is meow, 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 meow.
Right.
I get in the Twitter space and I had one of my coworkers with me, and I told him like, hey, don't speak any English on this Twitter space. I want you to meow every time I talk to you. So we did an hour and a half Twitter space, and I would talk back and forth about the tech or the NFTs, and
Yeah.
like Sebastian, like, what do you think about that? And he just meow for 30 seconds or so. But I haven't started getting real degen until the last month and a half when I got on these Twitter spaces, man.
That's a way to get degen, bro. Meowing an hour and a half through a Twitter space. Props to you. Okay, so let's move on to give us the rundown of the actual company's name, because I'm assuming it's not Metatopia, right? That's the
Yeah, so
NFT. So that,
company's name,
yeah.
Dev Team,
What's it? Say it.
Dev Team 6.
Oh, it is Dev Team 6. I thought that
Yeah,
was like the group of people you worked with was called Dev Team 6. It's the
yeah.
actual name of the company. That's what I was, but it's still a badass name. Um,
Yeah.
so talk to us about a little bit of background of what Dev Team 6 does, how Metatopia came up, and then I'll let you do this whenever you think it fits nicely within your explanation, but real basic like DEX, tokenomics, all of those words that people hear, because there's a lot of people in here are not familiar with tokenomics or what makes a good token and makes one viable and long lasting.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll
s-
touch on that.
all right.
So Dev Team 6, like I said, full stack blockchain development company. Been in the token space for 2 years. And so originally our CEO, the man himself, Bill Spada, had seen this need for the way that these DEXs, and a DEX is a decentralized exchange. An example on Binance is Pancake Swap. On Ethereum, you have Uniswap, Sushi Swap. A DEX is a swap for you to take your Ethereum or your Binance and to exchange it for different tokens. Of course, if we were to start an MLC token, you got to have some liquidity behind it. And so you go to these DEXs, you list your liquidity. So you take an MLC token, you pair it with Ethereum, combine it for the liquidity, and that's what it trades back and forth on. So that's where the real value comes from. Now, the problem with a lot of these decentralized exchanges is that they collect taxes. And so tokenomics, when I say tokenomics, I'm talking about the tax of a token. So it's very common. It's a great utility But it's very common in the token space to see a tax on a token. So whether if you buy it, there's going to be a 5% tax, or if you sell it, there's a 10% tax, right? And you
Hmm.
can use that tax for a multitude of ways, whether it be development, whether it be marketing, whether it be for a buyback and burn, a reflection to the holders, whatever it might be. It's a great use. And I love the use case of tokenomics.
Hmm.
But the problem is that if I have a 5% sell tax on MLC token, and Stargirl goes and sells that MLC token on the
Right.
DEX, 5% of it is taken by the DEX in MLC tokens, and the smart contract holds it. And therefore, once it reaches a certain threshold of MLC tokens, let's say it collects 1,000 MLC tokens, the smart contract goes to the open market and sells the tokens to claim the Ethereum. Because, no offense, Mikey, but Cointelegraph doesn't want MLC tokens for payment. They want ETH,
It's
right?
bullshit.
So
It's
you have to
bullshit.
power
Right.
that tax, right? You need the value from it. So the problem is that you have these every single DEX out there currently taking project tokens to collect taxes and then selling them on the market. Well, I think you're starting to piece it together. It's artificial sell pressure on the chart, right? So you're only hurting your token with that increased sell pressure from the smart contract.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
we did is we built it from the ground up. No forks, just knives, baby. And so our
Right.
smart contracts here are built algorithmically, so we can take the fees, the taxes up front in the Ethereum or in the Binance coin. So we don't have to ever sell project tokens that hurt the chart, in a negative way. So it
Hmm.
actually increases our, net positive impact on the chart.
Hmm.
And it makes it real nifty when you take it into the NFT side with a auto buyback and burn. So that's kind of where that bridge comes from. But we'll touch on that when we get to Metatopia.
Yeah.
So that's the big piece. That's what we've really created. We're the creators of Swap 2.0 protocol. That's the way that your swap mechanism takes it and takes the fee. And so therefore, we've built out PiSwap, which is the DEX. We did have at the time 4 different token projects, and they were all part of one massive ecosystem. So you had the DEX for Pi,
Yep.
but then we also had Moonforce at the time. Moonforce was the only launch pad. In the token space, you have to do a pre-sale, right?
Right.
You got to get the liquidity. You got to get people to buy in. And so every single launchpad out there isn't compatible with this new smart contract, right?
Right.
So we built our own launchpad at the time, called it Moonforce, and
Hmm.
Moonforce was their exclusive gateway into the ecosystem to launch into PiSwap. As well as at the time, we had Symbol. Symbol was a decentralized payment processor. So if you wanted to, instead of going to Coinbase and giving them all your information, you could take a Visa credit card and buy crypto directly and not have to, KYC or dox yourself like that.
Yep.
And so about late May, early June, we did a DAO vote actually in the token space. All of our community members were able to vote with their token weight on combining these projects into just Pi. So all 4 came into one. All the development is still there. All the rewards and utilities per project combined into one. And man, that was probably one of the best decisions that we in the community have ever made because it grew us so strong,
Right.
so strong. And so we've been, we had to do a little bit of rebasing, a lot of, facelift, revamp, and we're about there. We've finished all that, and we're getting to a place where we're feeling very, very confident with the foundation that we've built, and we're really about to kick this thing off on the token side. So
So
that's
at the
there, right?
core, of Dev 6, would you say you're more of a uh, token company, or how would you describe Dev 6 in their offerings?
I would say we're a blockchain solutions company.
Okay. I like
Yeah,
that.
we're offering solutions to existing problems, and like I said, one of these problems being these DEXs that are selling project tokens. And so we're here to develop and make real tech happen. So yeah, blockchain solutions I think is a good name,
I
good
love
fit.
it. I love it. Okay, so back to Pi. Um, in layman terms, because I'm not a token person either, right? I've
Yeah,
never gone down the token rabbit hole into the community. Describe what has happened with you combining everything and then tell us why you are bullish on Pi as a whole compared to any other swaps out there or even using something like Binance, right?
yeah,
Um, Go at it. Go for it. Tell us
easy.
all about it.
It's a way to truly power your token, and like I said, I think tokenomics, the tax structure that you can place on tokens is a great idea. It really helps you reach that full potential, right? Like if you can kick off 2 to 5% of a tax to go back to your development team so they can continue to have funds to keep going. I mean, let's face it, running and operating a business with an office and 25 people, it's not cheap, right? Like how do you
Right.
power that? How do you reach the project's full potential? Through this tax structure. It's a phenomenal idea in crypto. I love the introduction of it. And so with PieSwap, like I said, the way that we're taking the fees, it allows it for to be trading in a very authentic market. Right now, if you look at it, then every other token out there trading on another DEX is in an artificial market because there's cells coming in from the smart contract technology that shouldn't be happening. So why I'm bullish is because this tech is genuine. It creates authentic markets. It doesn't kill project momentum. You can see a lot of times in these early token projects, they launch their token, it starts pumping and pumping, but those smart contracts are collecting tax in project tokens. And when it reaches that threshold, it dumps them on the market, and then you see a big red candle, and momentum's been crushed. And
Well, not
so,
yeah. I mean, they're making their money, and then the coin becomes worthless, right? Like no one. Why are you going to buy it at that point? And so
I mean,
what?
not worthless, but I mean to
I
say
mean,
that when you
it's not worthless, but it's not what it was.
well, and I don't mean like when I say dump, I don't mean it's dumping it from 50 cents to zero. But I mean you can see these smart contracts on the blockchain. It's a digital ledger, so you can
Right,
see all
right,
these transactions. You can see where the smart contracts have to go and sell, $100, $200, $500 of project tokens. It
right.
doesn't kill the project, but it definitely hurts the growth. It hurts the community sentiment, and it hurts the dev, right? So I think we're providing a real situation and something that I'm really bullish on is the fact that this is the standard, right? This should be the standard. It's very, very close to, the stock market, how that trades. That's an authentic market for the most part. I mean, I don't want to go into the dark pools and all that shit, but but for the most part, this is one of the most authentic ways for DeFi to trade. And so something that gets me real hype. Early August, our CEO and CTO they were invited out to the Dominican Republic to come speak at a global economic forum
Right.
about blockchain and how it's going to be integrated into global economies.
Yeah.
And they got to sit down with treasury heads of the U.S., banking CFOs of the EU, blockchain.com CEO, and get to talk about this. And so that's what it is, again, we're not here for 6 months to a year. We're looking 5, 10 years down the road. We're looking to be the standard of crypto and DeFi trading and kind of being able to set that, that precedent. So it's all right here, baby.
Right. I love that. And so, but the one thing I was trying to get at though is explain how what you're doing is different because everyone has been or known NFT projects that have said, I'm going to create a play to earn ecosystem. We're going to create a token and it's going to be worth all this money. And if you collect the token, you're going to have tons of money. And then really that token holds no value and it falls flat on its face.
Yeah.
Describe that scenario compared to what you are building. I
Let me
think
let
it's
me
what
let me
I'm
bridge
looking
it.
at.
Let me bridge it over then, because like I said, so what are we bringing from the token space to the NFT side, right? Let me get
Perfect.
there. We'll
Perfect.
touch on that. So with this swap technology, we're bringing that and utilizing our play to earn token on that smart contract router. So a lot of the times, like you pointed out, these play to earn games, man, they build a lot of hype, right? And a lot of promise. Ultimately, what crushes the project is the token itself, like you pointed
Yes.
out. How do you sustain that? How do you maintain the liquidity in the pool? We believe that's through Swap 2.0. And so what we've done is there's these deflationary mechanisms, right? And so the one we're utilizing in our game itself is called an auto buyback and burn. So there is a sell tax at 25% on the token, and that's temporary. It'll go reduce over time, but it's just for project health.
Hmm.
And so that 25% sell tax, anytime everybody on the market goes to sell, 25% is taken in Ethereum, not project tokens. And we go back onto the market and we buy Topia token, which is the reward token in our play to earn game. We buy it on the market. So we boost green candles and LP, we add back, and then we burn those tokens so we get to control the token supply of all things. So I
Right.
think the problem is that a majority of play to earn games out there, and you can name a number of them, such as Wolf Game, Cat and Mouse, creeps even, right?
Hmm.
A lot of these games, they can't control both sides, you know. They can't control the liquidity, but they can control the inflationary minting of the token somehow through burning it. Well, that's great, but again, your LP is getting drained. What are you going to do about it?
Right.
And the other piece to that is the utility of the token. You got to incentivize your users to take that token and use it somewhere else other than just draining liquidity. What exchange of value can you bring to your holders with that token rather than just getting ETH? And that's what's really special with Topia token itself is the utility that we're bringing with it. So the swap technology is there to sustain and maintain the token itself. But then the utility for it is what's really gonna really drive people in.
And hence why you created the NFT for more of the utility side, correct?
Correct.
Correct. All right. So let's now, and I just want to do a time check. I know you said 90 minutes. Like, you have more time. Do you have a hard stop?
No, I got no hard stop.
Are
You're
you,
good, dude.
you're just having so much fun. You don't even give a shit at this point, right?
I'll talk all night with you, dude.
I love it. All right. So let's get into now awesome explanation of Dev 6, Dev Team 6, sorry. And now you have really doubled down on this Pi technology. You've brought it all together. When did MetaTopia become an idea, and why? I think we understand a little bit. You hinted at it is creating utility for your token. But take us through that story, and then I think we have kind of a surprise for the community, as in you sent me some things so we can show people how to even get into this universe.
Yeah. So I know middle to late March is when Metatopia really started getting dreamed about. We brought on an NFT manager. She's done a phenomenal job working with our CEO. I'll say he is probably one of the best visionaries that I've ever gotten to be next to and kind of learn
I'm
from.
gonna need to get him on the show as well.
We'd love to bring him up here with you, man.
Yeah,
I
can't
love
wait.
what we've got going on, and he could talk stories all day about the damn
We'll
stuff.
have a freaking blast.
We'll bring him in. And so, he starts dreaming up this vision of how, he's been in NFTs for 2 years. He's actually a member of the Proof Collective. And so he's been around a
Okay.
lot of NFT projects. He's been around playing in a lot of play to earn games,
Hmm.
and really studied the shit out of them. And so what he kind of saw was, again, nobody in NFTs. And I think you touched on that, like you said, I don't really know tokens. I haven't fallen down that rabbit hole. Nobody in NFTs knows tokens like we do because
Right.
we've been a team working in it for 2 years.
Yep. Yep.
And so this idea gets brought to life of how you could sustain a reward token in a play to earn ecosystem and actually provide true exchange of value. And I'll tell you where that comes from. I think a lot of the time on these blue chip projects, you could be spending 15, 20, 25 ETH on the floor to buy into a Moonbird, right? Or
Right.
whatever it may be, these big blue chip hype projects.
Hmm.
What are you receiving back for actually holding that NFT besides IP rights?
Nothing.
Nothing. And and to take that a step further, so after staking a Moonbird for 90 days and receiving a fanny pack for it, a $25 fanny pack, and now your floor price has dropped in half and
Yep.
you're down $25,000. What did you gain? Where's the exchange of value for owning that asset? Because like you said, it's NFTs are a business, it's a company, right? So
Right.
what are you returning to your holders?
Hmm.
And so when we really started piecing the ecosystem together, okay, great, we can sustain the token, but let's take it a next step further. How can they benefit from the token at a greater level with a true exchange of value? And that's kind of where the utility piece ties into it. So it was developed and scoped out for quite some time. Originally, we were looking. They were quoting somewhere around 6 months to get Metatopia out. We started working with some of our outside people to get it done. Didn't really go the way we wanted it. And I think back in late June, we started doing the entire game in-house with our devs here. And they busted it out in, I don't know, somewhere around 3-4 weeks, pretty quick. Did a stand-up job and got it out. And so we did our Metatopia Alpha. Originally, we were the Legacy Friends. That was the NFT collection. Legacy Friends did rebrand to Metatopia before the game launched, just because we figured from a marketing standpoint, why would you have two separate brands?
Right.
So your Legacy Friends Alpha and your Legacy Friends Genesis, they both turned into Metatopia Alpha, Metatopia Genesis. And so we did the MetaTopia Alpha. We did that in early June. We didn't really do any marketing for that whatsoever. It was actually primarily tailored towards our token community, giving them that opportunity to get in because the alpha characters of MetaTopia, they're the top dogs. So they can earn the most amount of tokens in the game and
Okay.
they can play in all 4 games. So Metatopia is one big world,
Okay.
but it's made up of 4 different regions, 4 different games, 4 different smart contracts that play different games
Right.
inside of them. So your alphas, we didn't do a whole lot of marketing. We wanted to give it something special to our token holders, so they were able to get in there. It's a collection of 1,800 alphas, and that minted out. And then August 5th was our Genesis mint
Yep.
of those characters. And the Genesis now, they range from tiers 1 through 3.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 1 being your lowest earners, tier 3 being your higher. But
Yep.
of course, tier 4, your alpha, highest earners, big dogs. So both NFT collections originally, our Genesis collection was at a 10,000 supply.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of hype, we did a lot of marketing, a lot of driving in what we thought was gonna pull this in, right?
Yeah.
We did not hit 10,000. We didn't get
No.
close. And,
No.
and honestly, I think that's when my shift in NFT knowledge really started to grasp. I
Right.
started really picking up and learning the market and the sentiment and getting in there. It's a free mint meta, man. A
Yeah.
lot of projects aren't really charging. It's a free mint thing. And that's where the degens are at. They're looking for flips though, right? It's not, these are projects that are
Yeah.
delivering a PFP and an IP, right? It's not real tech. And so we cut the supply down to 33.33.
Uh-huh.
It did mint out at 33.33.
Nice.
About 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, Metatopia game was launched. So I think we're on day 10, day 11 since launch now, and it's been pretty seamless, man. We were pretty ecstatic to get the game out. It's pretty scary when you have 4 different smart contracts all running together simultaneously, doing different things and interacting with each other. So anything could happen, but it's been pretty baller so far.
That is so wait. Sorry, man.
Am I
My
missing
mon,
something?
my moms are texting me. What is your what is your actual Twitter handle? I thought you said $man at $man.
G$ man.
Oh, bro, dude. If you go to
Oh
dollar
man,
sign man on Twitter. Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's just about. Oh man, it's fun. It's fantastic. It is so good. Okay, so we're gonna update that to G $man.
oh, that's not me. Oh man.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. This is gonna go down in history of midlife
Man.
crisis annals. No, this is gonna be great. Now, hey, listen, it's updated now. Everybody knows who you really are, and this is gonna be just a fantastic story. But when you have a chance, you should go to $man and check that whole
I just
situation
I
out.
just looked. I just
I don't want to look. Just don't look. So it is G $man, right? All
yes.
spelled out at this point.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Um, they texted me, and I mean,
Wait, who is this
dude,
dude you brought up?
dude, you're straight. You're just a straight dog at this point. You are a straight dog. You're a G, man. You absolutely are a G. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. So I had to bring that up because that is too freaking funny. Where were we at? Metatopia. You've got the 4 different layers of earners and tokens. You, by the way, 10K collection. I don't know if you pay it. Do you still pay attention to like the NFT sphere hardcore now? You're
Yeah,
in
I'm
it,
I'm
so
pretty
you
involved.
know who Voltura is and Izu and psychedelics, right?
Yeah,
I
I saw
mean,
that.
yeah, you saw what he like, dude. If Voltura can't sell out barely 5K collection, you know the market ain't doing great.
Well,
Um,
and the market was, it could have done that 6 months ago. But right now, I mean, after I've kind of diagnosed and been a part of it, the market we're in for NFTs right now is very, very similar to what the token space saw about a year and a half, 2 years ago with, a lot of that Dogecoin hype, right?
Yep.
There was a lot of meme, a lot of, non-utility, a lot of just, I can throw a token together real quick and launch it and, boom.
Right.
Uh, and it didn't stand. And so the market corrected itself and went through that. So I genuinely think the NFT space is going through that, maturity stage right now that the token space has already seen.
Right. Right. Absolutely. That makes sense. And I think I think this is what I say a lot. Projects like yourself, people that are treating NFTs as businesses, even Hape, like I said, Hape got into it. They suffered from just ungodly hype. Like there was no way out of that situation. But they're building a business. And so when this next bull market comes, I think it's going to be people that are treating NFTs like businesses. And then the people that are around in the first one are going to be actually releasing their products because guess what, people? It takes time to create a company and make a product, right? And people want it now, 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 now. I think free mints are brilliant in the sense that, and we actually are ambassadors of a free mint. It's about cockfighting and it's hilarious. But the founders can't dox themselves due to other things that they have obligations in the Web3 space. And it's a great tool if you want to build and not be bothered by when is the floor going to go up? When are you delivering the next thing, right? If you want to take a true kind of like builder perspective, free mints are actually a really interesting idea because you now you don't have your community handcuffed to like, I spent a G on this, you better produce something yesterday, right? So it is what it is. But it's awesome that you have built and created something. And then what you did, I think appropriately, was cut your supply down and then you were able to sell out the 333. So where do we go after that?
Like I said, after that, about 2, 3 weeks afterwards, we launched MetaTopia game itself. And it's been history from there. So we originally took a little different approach to the LP, and I mean it's seen in a couple different play to earn games,
Right.
where you don't launch the liquidity for that reward token right away, right? You let people kind of accrue it and get settled in.
Right.
So we came up with the utility side, and we call it the core four. And so the core four, one of the four, is the liquidity trading pool for the Topia token itself. We're looking to launch about 6 figures, close to 6 figures of liquidity, paired with this on a trade. So that's one of the first four that actually drops later this week. So we've been, like I said, we've been in the game for about 10 days now. We've been in MetaTopia for 10 or 11 days, and people are just starting to earn. Now, of course, different games. The game that you're going to get to show here today, the Pie Market, you can earn those Topia tokens, collect them in game, and then spend them in a couple different ones. So in the Pie Market, you can bet on pies. You can buy a pie from the bakers, and the bakers collect a tax of the pie, or not the pie, but of the tokens. So they're getting some Topia, and then based off of the randomization on the pie that you get, you could earn, you could lose, you could, yada yada there. So that was kind of the immediate utility there, is you can use those Topia tokens in game. But the core four is that big piece, right? And we're dropping that all this week. I think actually somebody's just walking by my window, give me a thumbs up. So it sounds like two of the utilities might have just dropped on the website. So we'll have to check that out when you pull it up. But
awesome.
So the core four, first one being the liquidity trading pool. That's later this week, and that will come out with the Topia Vault. And so the Topia Vault is the big piece to our statement of true exchange of value, where
Right.
people are actually receiving a return of something tangible,
Okay.
same value for value. But what is slated to drop today, and may have already done so, is our rat characters. So we don't plan to do any future minting, but we do plan to mint out collections ahead of time. So this one being the rats. And these rat characters, they can play inside of season 2. So this is currently season 1.
Okay.
The only way to get these season 2 characters is to be in season 1 and buy them with Topia token. So rat
Okay.
NFTs, you can purchase one rat. Every wallet can purchase up to 10 rats. You can purchase one rat for 1,500 Topia. And of
Gotcha.
course, what happens is, Mikey, you come and buy a rat inside of MetaTopia world. 1,500 of your Topia token is taken, burned, gone forever out of the supply, and you get an NFT. And
Gotcha.
that NFT will earn you more Topia in the storyline for season two.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's second utility, well, third, if you count that Topia vault that I talked about.
Right.
We'll go a little more in depth. And then your fourth is the peer-to-peer exchange. So as I mentioned, there's that 25% temporary tax on sales on the liquidity pool. But this is DeFi, right? We want to encourage community and working together there. So the peer-to-peer exchange has a 5% sell tax. So if I want to go buy a rat, but I only have 1,000 tokens, I need 500 more, and Mikey, you have 500 tokens that no, you're not interested in rats. You
Right.
can list your 500 Topia tokens on the peer-to-peer exchange, and I can come to you and say, hey, I'll give you 0.5 ETH for it. You accept my bid. I take your tokens. You take my ETH. I pay the sell tax. You get your money. We're good. I buy my rat. I'm happy.
Nice.
So the
Gotcha.
peer-to-peer exchange is a big one. It does have a lower sell tax.
Yeah.
So the peer-to-peer and the rats are coming out together if they're not already. And then at the end of the week, we will launch the liquidity on PieSwap. So it's back on our DEX. I love how that goes full circle because our token holders over there on the DEX, they're actually going to be rewarded from the volume of Topia token on the DEX because we donate about 40% of our exchange volume. We take a transaction fee. Every DEX does it. They take a transaction fee from the volume. So we take about 0.03% on a transaction. Every month we take all that, and 40% of that fee is delivered back to our holders that are staked on the platform.
I love that. Yeah. So and like what you just said is cool because I have yet to hear a project that you just ran. You literally have the whole ecosystem that is
Yeah.
then now feeding off itself, and then on top of it is providing utility. I also love the thing that stood out to me is you're saying that you won't do any more quote unquote public mints. You will mint and create new NFTs, but if you're not plugged into this ecosystem, you're not getting them.
Yeah, and if we do a future, it's not a possibility because we plan to be here till season 30, season 50, season
Right,
100.
right, right.
If we do a future mint, all of our MetaTopia NFT holders, they'll be automatically whitelisted for those
Yeah,
outside of the game.
yeah.
But in game, yeah, you use your Topia tokens to buy it to non-traditional mint.
No,
Uh,
I love it.
so spot on. So, but the Topia Vault, man, that's where the value comes in.
Tell
I'm
us, tell
excited
us.
about the Topia Vault, baby, because I'm saving. I'm not spending my Topia on a damn thing until I can get into the
So
Topia
open
Vault.
recap the all of the utilities, and then we'll drop the big bomb with the Topia Vault, and then we'll go show people how to
Yeah.
get into this ecosystem. How does that sound?
For sure, I like that. So the core four, baby, the four utilities that are really going to set the standard for play to earn. It's going to be your liquidity trading pool. So you have the option there to sell Topia on the market for Ethereum. Utility number two, you get to buy in-game NFTs that can earn more tokens in later seasons with your Topia tokens. Utility three, you can go on a peer-to-peer exchange and buy Topia tokens from others in the ecosystem for a cheaper tax. And then four, you can utilize the Topia Vault. It's basically an auction house. So the Topia Vault is an auction house, and we're going to stock it full of shit. And that starts with about next week. It'll start this week on Friday. There'll be some items in there, but it'll start getting really packed full of stuff in the coming weeks. But the Topia Vault's an auction house where every item in the Topia Vault will start at one Topia token bidding. And that auction may run for 24 hours, 72 hours, days, whatever it may be. But we're going to start with digital assets. So we'll be bringing in NFTs from other projects. And we're doing this through our Legacy Lab. It's a program that we structured to bring in funding into this Topia Vault. It's kind of how we can power the overall ecosystem.
Right.
So we'll do digital assets. So for example, we'll take moonbirds, and there'll be moonbirds in the Topia Vault starting at one Topia token. And we plan to extend that out to high-end retail, such as Prada purses, Gucci
Yeah.
backpacks, sunglasses, and it doesn't even have to be fancy stuff either. I have a piece in my heart where I really want to touch on the play to earn side. I really want to make sure I know what we're doing is definitely different and it's going to shake the space up, but I want to make sure we can actually make an impact. And that's something that's really big at Dev Team 6 is making an impact, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is your legacy and what
Right.
are you leaving? What are you building? And play to earn games are very, very big in the, uh, other side of the world from us here,
Yeah.
Asia, Africa, a lot of those countries that are really big on play to earn because it's interesting enough that they can earn more on play to earn games than they can in some of their everyday jobs, wage wise.
Right. Right.
So, what does that mean? What does that look like if we could offer users to spend their play to earn tokens on items such as shirts, such as bathroom supplies,
Yeah.
computer
Yeah. Yeah. You're
supplies?
creating your own Amazon store in essence.
Basically, and I'll touch on that. Good point there. But the Topia Vault will be filled with, all these high-end items, these items that have real value to them. Where, hey, you're not as interested in selling the Topia token for ETH. You'd rather go get some, a Prada purse for your mama, or maybe it's a vacation to the Caribbean. Could you imagine buying a vacation to the Caribbean with play to earn tokens?
Right.
No, it hasn't been done yet.
Right.
And it's all auction based. So that's the Topia Vault and the gist of
Mhm.
that utility. And that's where we really intend to bring that true exchange of value to the
Yeah.
holders.
Dude, I am super. So, one of our good buddies, he's from New Zealand, and have you
Yeah.
ever heard the word chuffed?
Yeah, but I don't know what it means.
So chuffed is basically like really excited, as in Kiwi terms, right? You
Got it.
just got me extremely chuffed. And then I just got even more chuffed thinking my sister-in-law lives in, my family lives in Phoenix,
Yeah.
and I'm going to come visit you.
Let's
And
go.
I'm going to check out your headquarters and we're going to hug it out. And the future looks bright, bro. I'm freaking excited about this. Dude, that sounds amazing. So, one more thing I want to ask, well, let's leave this up to you. We're almost at a 2-hour mark at this point. Here are the things on my mind, and you let me know what order you want to do. We want to work with the NFT in the wallet and stake it like we said. And then I really want to talk about the future of the project and gaming and such. I know we were thinking about you coming back on, and we can dive into that.
Yeah.
So my thought is, let's do the wallet, the staking interaction, and then we can talk about just the future of project in general and kind of close it out. How does that sound?
I'm rocking with it, brother. Let's do it.
All right, perfect.
Am I going to be able to see your screen, or am I just going to be looking at your beautiful face?
So I
Let me
mean,
pull up
you're
the.
gonna be able to look at my beautiful face and the screen. So what I'll
Okay.
do is I am going to shift. So I'll be sharing my screen, obviously, with the stream, so they'll be able to see what we're doing. But before I share that, I just want to make sure that my window for my wallet and stuff doesn't pop up. I checked OpenSea, and I don't know. I haven't been in OpenSea in a while. I just haven't checked, but apparently it puts it in a hidden tab if you get airdrop stuff or sent stuff sometimes. So
Oh,
I have a Baker number 84. Is that what you sent me?
yes.
It's
Let's
like a
go.
girl with a green hat.
Yeah. So
All
she's going to
right.
be cooking up some pies in the pine.
Okay, so I can actually unhide this, and
Yeah.
it's not it's not scam. If I click on this, I'm not gonna lose everything in my wallet. Okay, cool. All right, so I think I can just clear them all, and they should. Okay. So let me share my screen and get that up and running. I'm going to share my top screen. I'm assuming I'm going to the website, right?
Yeah. So it's metatopiaworld.com.
Okay. I'll spell this right, unlike your Twitter name.
Hey, yeah, you don't want to pop up anything like that on screen.
And I have a way to fix that. So it has your regular Twitter handle on it, so don't be too worried about that. Metatopia world.com. All right. And yeah, this shouldn't when it pops up and asks me to stake and stuff, it's a different window, so we should be good. All right. Let's get the Chrome
MetaTopia.
up here. Cool. All right, so I have the web browser up. I'm going to replace the middle of the screen with the web browser. Let me go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give me another 30 seconds. I'm going to shift us over to the left side of the screen that way and put us smaller so we can make the website as big as possible.
Good deal.
So people can see. I got to get your beautiful face underneath mine.
Let's go.
And then we'll be good to go here.
Not usually the bottom, so take it slow.
Oh, man, you're cracking me up. Dude, this has been a great conversation, by the way. Having a blast with you.
You're just so easy going.
All right, man, we're up. We're ready to go, bro. I am at Metatopia's website. Let me share my screen with you in Discord. Oh, you know what? That's going to screw up our cameras.
You're watching the delay will be there, but
there's a little delay on YouTube, but I think that's the best I'm going to have to do. But because if I do it the other way, it's just going to take a lot of time.
I see it right now. I see you looking at the map.
Okay.
What you think so far? I want some reaction to it all too.
Yeah. What do you guys think? The map is looking fire. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know what I'm looking at, so I think my
Metatopia world.
Yeah, so I mean, assuming this is the world. Yeah, man, I'm ready to dive in. It looks interesting. Looks kind of like Where's Waldo-ish a little bit. So what am I doing here? Am I connecting my wallet?
So you can connect your wallet, or you can wait till you get into the game itself. So
Okay.
if you kind of hover around the different regions, you see there at the bottom.
Ooh, okay.
So that's the Bull Street at the bottom right, and then to the left over there on the other side is that pie market on the bottom left.
Gotcha.
So that's where you're going to be able to stake your baker. So that's a Genesis baker, and that baker can play only inside of Pie Market. That's where the storyline and the characters set up. Above Pie Market is Doge World. That's where characters can play inside of that game. And then to the right of it, I believe that's Moonforce HQ. And then that big old white building over there at the top, that's the council chambers. Now that'll be available later in season 2. And the Wasteland, which is that top right section, that's where the rats are minting from.
Dude, I love this. Like every part of this land actually has utility.
Did you zoom out for him?
Yeah, and so that's what I was gonna do because I'm like, whoa, wait a second. This says, what the hell did I do there? This says what? Dude, this is a pretty cool website. Because I was about to say, like, looks interesting, but it'd be nice to have some explanation, and you just did it. You just did it.
So as you zoom out, you can kind of get an understanding for the game itself and everything. You can see my face up there with the rest of some of the team.
Man. This is cool, dude. I love this. No, this is really cool. All right, cool. Yeah, no, love it, dude. Super cool.
Now that you're acquainted with the Metatopia world, you can go into Pie Market, just as you did, I think, with Moonforce HQ. You just click Pie Market. If you go back.
Okay.
I think it's a little on my side, so I'm still watching.
So I should connect my wallet, right?
So connect your wallet.
Oh, son of a biatch. Is this gonna... Okay. It won't pop that up. Okay, cool. All right.
Your NFT should Go on that unstaked column.
NFT popped up on the unstaked column.
Oh, okay.
Boom. Now
All
I'm going to
right.
click this box
Yep.
and I want
Select.
to stake the selected.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing it here first, people. You want to know how to get into this universe? This is how you do it. And next time my man comes on, we're going to be playing some games and we're going to be baking pies, or I don't know what the hell we're doing, but we're going to be doing some cool shit.
We'll be gambling MetaTopia next time.
Bro, are you kidding me? 83 cents to stake. I don't think I can handle it.
I think the first bit is the approval. So you do need to approve the contract. And I think that's something that a lot of NFT people don't really see often as you do in the token space. But you have to allow the smart contract to interact with your wallet. So you have to kind of sign it and approve it.
Right.
Typically, that's really cheap. The gas is optimized everywhere else for staking, but 83 cents is the approval there.
Oh, that's the approval. No, so that was 83.
Did you
Yeah, I did the approval, but it was 83 cents for the gas as well.
That's good.
Yeah, it's fire, man.
I'll go in. So once you approve it, it'll load and do its Ethereum thing, and then you'll have the option to pull up that MetaMask window, and it'll say stake your NFT, and you'll stake it directly to the Pi market.
Yeah, so it just says pending right now. Hopefully it'll go through sometime soon.
This is the little trivia time that I like to.
Yeah, this is the trivia time right here.
Where ETH does its thinking.
Approved token. There we go. I think it just happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One step closer.
Wait a sec. Is that what happened? Did it happen? One
I'm
step
waiting
closer to the edge.
I'm in the past.
Oh no! That was taking that. Well, I was waiting for the token part to approve. So yes, it was. Now we are at $8. Okay, all right. It's okay. It's okay. $8 I can handle.
Good on the east side. So yeah, you can get and the thing is too, we have optimized it so you can stake. And we have users with lots of NFTs, obviously, right?
Right.
You can stake more than one at once. So if you had 10 bakers, you could stake them all. Now it wouldn't be $8, but it would be much cheaper than staking all 10 individually.
Right. And honestly, we are days away from the merge anyway, so it's gonna get real cheap for everything. Cool. So, I mean, while let's talk about your thoughts on we're staking, we're showing people how to stake here. Is there anything else we can do once we stake it, or do I have to wait to be able to interact in the world?
Yeah, so I mean now really you need Topia tokens. That's the big, winner in the play piece there. Because obviously you see on the right there, on the far right, where you can buy the pies. So you can bet 40 Topia tokens to buy a random pie. And that's kind of that gambling side. And each game is a little different. Doge World doesn't have anything like that inside of it. Right. Doge World is more closer to like cat and mouse blockchain staking game where you stake the NFT and then over you earn those tokens. Right. But in Force HQ, for example, the cadets are very similar to your baker there. The cadets get staked. Once you stake them and you start earning Topia tokens, you can roll for an upgrade. Because the aliens over in Moonforce HQ, they can steal some of the cadets' Topia. So if you don't want your cadet getting his Topia stolen, you need to roll for an upgrade with your Topia that you earn. And you have the chance a sword, a pistol, and a sniper. And the sniper, lets you keep the most amount of your Topia. So it's all strategy game. Pi is more that gambling side. And then Bull Street as well. Bull Street, you can bet on the running of the bulls. So you can bet whether the runners or the bulls are going to win. There's a race every, I think, 10 hours is how it works. And you can place your bets with your Topia tokens to earn more. Gotcha. So that's the in-game side of things for Season 1. Now, when we talk future of the game and where we're going, obviously I mentioned earlier, we look forward to Season 30, Season 50, right?
Right.
So as we continue down this path, Season 2, we're actually going to start bringing in other NFT projects, other NFT communities to be a part of the storyline and have their own game in the MetaTopia world.
Gotcha.
And so for that, one, bolsters is because in Web3, community is everything, right?
Yep.
And partnership and collaboration is the second big piece.
Yep.
So if you can do that here now, you're accelerating adoption, right? And when we're trying to set the standard, you need as many eyes on as possible. So what we can do is, we have a couple others. If you've heard of 1 ETH floor price,
No.
Ugaverse, Bear Labs,
Yes.
have one project, man. Do we leak alpha? Should we leak some alpha, man?
Leak the alpha, baby. Give it to us. We
Nice.
always love the alpha leaks on this show.
Well, this actually today we started talking to AI Nightbirds to get
Boom. You heard
season.
that first here on
Yes.
Midlife Crisis, baby.
Season 2. It's not anything confirmed or official yet. It's just the alpha, but it is what we've been working on. We've had some good talks over there with the AI Nightbirds team. If you haven't seen AI Nightbirds, man, the art is beautiful.
Yeah.
But again, it's more of an art and PFP side.
Mhm.
We can offer them immediate utility access to come inside of Metatopia and have their own game. And then again, remember the alphas, they can play in any game they want. So our alpha holders can go play inside of the AI Nightbirds.
Yeah.
And the storyline will just continue to evolve as we bring in these projects and as we increase and grow.
We're creating, like I told you, man, I am the brand ambassador for a project that has cockfighting. So we're going to have to talk about how there might be possible integrations here in the future as well.
And it's fairly simple, the process. I can't say the development will always be free, but I know in the first few seasons, we're looking to make it easy. We're not looking to make a buck off of bringing NFT projects in, right?
Right.
And so, we will develop the smart contracts that interact with the game, and then literally your NFT community could come over, connect the wallet just as you just did, and stake their NFT.
Yeah.
And start owning tokens and have real exchange value that they can use it for.
I love this. So your NFT can actually give you value in this world as well.
Yep.
Dude, fantastic. We're definitely going to have to talk offline about how we integrate in these other projects. And just so everyone knows what happened, what you just watched, I did stake it. Like we said before, you have to approve the token. So it's a little different than most of you NFTers out there. You're going to have to sign your MetaMask twice. I did that, and it was $8 for me to stake my Baker, and now my Baker is staked, and I should be earning some Topia token here. How often does it refresh? I'm assuming on a 24-hour basis, Topia token?
Based on the emission rates of the block. So every time a block is hit on the blockchain,
Okay.
It's out your emission. So you should be able to see it update fairly quick.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yep.
And so now I can back out of this since my Baker's staked, right? And then when I have Topia token, what is something that I would do or could do? I would click into one of these other worlds, use my Topia token to bet on the running of the bulls.
So the running of the bulls can only be bet on right now by those characters in that game.
Gotcha.
So you as a Baker. So your first one really would be buying those pies and trying to earn more Topia with it.
Gotcha.
But again, you don't have to just limit your Topia there. You could be spending it in the Topia vault, making bids on an NFT there or a backpack, whatever it might be. You could say, hey, I'm not really into any of it, but I want to sell my Topia tokens to I don't know, BC Pearl. She's one of our top dogs.
Right.
And you can go sell it on the peer-to-peer exchange and get ETH value there. You could sell it in the liquidity pool, or you could buy an in-game rat. So if you click, I'm kind of curious. I didn't get to see it yet.
I just clicked on the rats, and I can now go buy a rat if I had 1,500 Topia, which I don't have. But yeah, man, this is cool. I mean, you can go mint a rat and an NFT based on your Topia token. Dude, I love everything that you put together. I love how you've thought about this you are the first and only project that we've had on that has had this full circle offering included with a token, the exchange, gamifying it, having a vault, creating actual value for a token and a play to earn ecosystem that is attached to NFTs. So bravo to you and Dev Team 6, man. And dude, how eloquently you talk about Dev Team 6, this project, and pretty complex stuff on the Web3 ecosystem at your age. Brush your shoulder off a little bit on that one too, dog. I mean, you've
Thank you.
done a hell of a job talking through this the whole time. And, you know, everything that you've said has been easy to understand and given us great detail about the project. Hey, can we get a hell yeah in chat for everybody that agrees with what I just said? I want to see a bunch of hell yeahs in chat from my
Oh,
main man.
let's go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the Wastelands just launched then too?
Yeah, I mean, and it's not a game just yet, but the Wastelands itself, you can buy your rat NFT from the Wasteland right now, and then in season two is season one's supposed to be up 45, 60 days. So at the end of season one, when we go into season two, your rat character that you've now minted in season one will be able to start earning and playing in its own wasteland game.
Right.
There'll be some rat races, some mazes there.
Nice. I like that. And so do you think of because I have tons of partners that have created real like 3D high fidelity metaverses. Do you ever think you're going in that direction or
Oh,
having, you know, real interactive games? Like I think we're at the point now where we can start winding down. I did lie. I have two more questions, but that's how I close it out. They're not a hard questions, so don't worry about it.
no,
But let's talk about the next. I like to ask this question. What did the next 6 months for Dev Team 6 look like?
insane growth. Insane growth.
You can't just tell me insane growth
And I'll
because
tell you why. I'll tell you
okay,
why. You know, it's been a real pleasure, a real blessing to come in when I came into Dev Team 6. I've got to witness a lot of growth personally, internal wise, right?
right.
I've got to see us shape up and mature. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, we've been in the token space for 2 years. We've been doing this. You know, this is nothing new, but we've adapted so well and just powered up and leveled up so many times. And we're at this spot now where this foundation is so strong, it's so solidified. You know, the energy that I get being in this office every day, unmatched.
Yeah.
The team that we've put together, you know, it's not an easy thing to put together a team of 25 people that can work so cohesively,
Oh yeah,
but
it's hard.
here has the same vision, the same dedication. And we're at this point now where we have everything at a finished project level. Of course, we'll continue to expand and develop on it all, but we're at a point now, not only on the token space, but also with MetaTopia and the NFTs. Man, we're just going to get to do what we love, and that's telling our story, just as I got to sit here and do with you, which was super easy to do because you just bring it out of me, man. You're
Thanks,
wonderful.
man. Appreciate it.
Um, so I mean it. When I say, you know, incredible growth and insane growth, we get to now have fun with everything. And we've been building. And this, you know, this market right now, it's a builder's market. I think you kind of touched on that earlier.
Yep.
You know, those that are developing and actually delivering on real items that provide value. Those are the ones that are to come out on top on the long run when we flip.
Yep.
And that's what we're here for. Like I've mentioned, we're not here for a 3 to 6 month or a year play. We're looking long term, baby. We're looking to be a standard in the space. So over the next 6 months, we just continue to grow our audience, grow our tech, and let the story speak for itself, and continue to expand. You know, when the token space kind of took a dip earlier in the year, we didn't pack our bags and do anything about it. We actually hired more people to come into the office. And so when I say growth, I mean growth. Next 6 months, the end of the year will be really exciting.
Dude, I love it. Dude, I thank you. And I think that's a good, concise answer and kind of gives vision of, and like you said in the beginning, it's a lot of growth and you're here for the long haul, just like midlife crisis is too. And all of the projects that I believe in, you know, they got 5, 10 year visions. And I think that's the way to be. I mean, listen, man, it's a very simple principle. You know, billions of dollars. $1 billion industry has been created, multi-billion-dollar industry has been created off of losing weight quick. We all
Yeah,
know the answer.
not
Cut your
real.
calories and work out, right? You know, there's a calorie deficit situation. But people still think if they spend $800 in a month, they're going to lose 60 pounds magically, right? This space is no different. And yeah, there are tons of people that come in here. And I would not say tons. I say what you see on Twitter in this space is a lie. Uh, there are a very way more few people make a shit ton of money quick in this space than people that lose a ton of money in this space. And it's just like any other space or any other thing that you do in life, the long game is always going to win. You build a following. Listen, every Discord that I saw that had 60,000 people in it overnight, guess where they are? They don't exist anymore, right?
Well,
Yeah, they just don't exist anymore. It's because you got in it to make some money quick, and hopefully you weren't the one burned by that Ponzi scheme, and you were able to move on and still had some savings to understand and be burned and walk away and learn from that, right? No different here. And I love that your response is you're in it for the long game, because I think that's ultimately the way to success in this space and anywhere else in life, to be honest.
for sure.
Awesome. So, like I said, I did lie. I have 2 questions for you. This is how we close out every show.
All right.
My first question is, do you have any questions for me? Because I just peppered you with questions for over 2 hours at this point. If you don't have any that come to mind, totally fine. Totally fine.
I just want to know, is your hair like actually blonde or is it dyed?
This is my real hair.
I'm just like thrown off because like you got the orange on the face, but you got the blonde up top.
So I like to tell people, I mean, it is, I live in San Diego.
Okay.
I'm in the sun a lot. So yes, the sun bleaches my hair for sure. My beard is still pretty red. I was a redhead growing up. I am not gonna lie, there are some gray hairs starting to seep in.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'm not that old yet, so it's still just looking like highlights. But
Yeah,
if
you
you
got time.
took a very close look, you would be like, oh, there's actually some of that highlight is a little bit of gray/white hair. And it's white because this is, and I've been very excited about this when I quote unquote retire. One of my jobs is going to be a high-end Santa, because a redhead's hair, it doesn't go like silver gray, it goes bright white. And you're
Mm,
damn straight that I'm growing this beard out and this hair long, and it's going to be bright white, and I'm going to be sitting on a Santa throne making little kids' lives super happy.
let's go, baby. I like that.
But yes, it's blonde highlights with a hint of white.
There you go. Okay. Good deal. Just need to know.
And then my final question, and you kind of hinted at this already. You already said you're starting to do a lot of AMAs. We always like to ask, compared to other AMAs or shows that you may have done, how do you think tonight went compared to your typical Twitter space or anything else you've done?
Yeah. Great question because you guys are doing it totally different over here. I think a lot of the space is very used to pitches. A lot
Hmm.
of, and that was something I picked up when I was in LA for my first NFT conference.
Yeah,
I just felt like I was being shilled to and pitched to everywhere I went. I didn't go to the event to buy your NFT, no offense. I came to build and work with your NFT. I came to make connections in the space, right?
right.
And so what I can say that I really enjoyed here the most was being able to sit back. And I think a lot of people use that terminology of, hey, just we're sitting at a bar just talking, or we're just sitting around the campfire. And then it turns into a, sell me why. And like
Right.
actually getting to talk with you, I got to talk on some things that I don't think I've actually paid much thought to in a very long time, which
Yeah.
good thing. I was very happy to kind of bring those memories back up and talk about it. And, um, you know, dude, the vibes here are crazy. I love MLC. We're gonna have to chat more after this and expand our collaboration efforts for sure, man. Because I like what you're doing a lot. I think you're a great person.
Oh man, I appreciate it. And that's believe it or not, we get that overwhelming response that way too. I mean, I do think we do it a little bit different. And Fortunately, one of the things we talk about too is, we're using NFTs to build what we do and build a brand. And obviously there's ways to monetize here that are very lucrative, but uh, we're going to be on stages. We're writing books and mentorship, leadership, self-growth. All of that stuff is stuff that we're interested in. Hence why I was so adamant that we took 40 to 45 minutes to talk about that, because I think that's super important and our community learns a lot from that, right? They're just all universal lessons that everybody wants to know, and it applies to a space like this that is supposed to be this mystical thing. And part of what we're trying to do is demystify it too, to know that, listen, man, you don't have a college degree. You took your ambitions. We understood why your mindset came from how you grew up, and now look at you now. You're at a awesome crypto company that is building something more unique than we've seen in the 8 months that we've been doing this, right? And you've done that based off of your upbringing, your mindset, your ambition, and being open to change, right? Like, those are the principles that people need to understand. And that's one of the main reasons we do what we do. So thank you so much for the kind words. And absolutely, I've got projects that I want to integrate with you. And then, like I said, I'd love to get your founder back on. I want to get you back on so we can play the game together. And we are here at Midlife all about long-term relationships. We'll talk offline. I'll tell you all the other things that we'll do and I can do for you. But thank you for the kind words. Any last thoughts for the community or people out there? I think there was one question, and I think any last thoughts for them, and then kind of tell people, if they're really interested in getting into this ecosystem, what do they got to do?
Yeah. Well, first, I don't ever forget about my community ever. So I gotta know, did we hit 50 at some point? Did we hit the 50 mark?
We didn't.
Oh man.
we got up to like 32, 33, but it's okay. We
Okay.
still will give
I love it.
some
I'll tell
shit
you
away.
what, every comment on the MLC video, still gonna get a chance to win a VFriend trading card box. So everybody in the stream here now, man, blow this guy up. Make sure
You
you're
heard
subbed.
this shit. You
Make
have
sure you
to subscribe. And if you're not subbed, because we can see that, if you comment and you're not subbed, you're not in for the VFriend trading card. That is what it is.
On the table, because they stuck it out, man. They were here for 2 hours just with us, and so we'll make sure that happens. And then you let me know the best way to do the rat, because I want to give away one rat NFT.
So we'll do the same thing. So these are the requirements.
Go.
You must subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you must comment on this live stream video. You can comment now. When we end the stream, it will automatically be archived as the most recent video on our page. You need to comment. And what are we going to ask them? We are going to ask them why you think MetaTopia is one of the best NFT projects out there. Or no, sorry.
I liked it.
No, yeah, let's go with that. I had another idea, but we'll do that for next time. Why do you think MetaTopia is one of the best NFT projects out there? You must subscribe to our channel, leave a comment below the video and the stream, and we will pick 2 random winners. One will get a VFriend card box, and the other one will get a rat.
Boom.
That's happening.
That's going to happen, baby.
Tweet, share, subscribe, comment, blow this bitch up. Okay, so look, there goes a subscribe. I just heard the little chime for subscribe. So we're taking care of the community. Any other final words? Or if not, how do we get into this ecosystem?
Yeah. Final word standpoint, I think to anybody out there in the Web3 space, you just got to be a builder. And I think if you're in Web3 now, you definitely have that personality, right? Like, we're all entrepreneurs at heart. We're all builders. We're all a little different, right? We're wired a little bit different than normal, because if this was easy to understand and this was easy to grasp and kind of get into, everybody would be here in the world right now, but they're not, right?
Right.
I think if you're here now, you have something very special. So make sure that you are honing in on that and developing and always trying to extend yourself to that next level, because that's how you grow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking to get in on this, you can find us on Twitter, Metatopia World. The link tree is there. You can also go to discord.gg/Metatopia, and all of our links are in the Discord there. But you can find in the link tree or in the Discord, you can find our Alpha collection, our Genesis collection. We are post mint. The game is live. People are already earning that sweet, sweet Topia. If you want to get in and start earning, well, one, you better comment, like, subscribe, and tell me why you want Metatopia, because the rat character, for a notice, the rat character will be delivered unrevealed. And then when the collection mints out, and the collection just went live probably 30 minutes ago. So when that collection in game sells out, they'll reveal themselves. So just as a heads up, and they don't earn until season 2, but it's coming. It's like you got a stock piece waiting for you. But you can find those Alpha and Genesis links in our Discord or on our link tree on Twitter. You do need to buy on the secondary market in order to get into the game now. But look, if you got more questions, the Discord is one of the most friendly places. We have one of the best staff mods there. They've been with us for years. They love what they do. We love what they do. So we're always happy to talk tech. We're always happy to talk and answer any questions anybody may ever have, not only about the game, but overall space. So
Yeah.
I look forward to chatting, hopefully, with some new faces in the Discord as well. I'm always there. I think I'm like one of the highest levels by like 5 levels right now on our XP system.
Of
Like
course
I
you are.
spend too much time in there. So
Yeah.
please, if I'm in there, come say what's up, and we'll see you on the next one for sure, because we're gonna be back on MLC, baby.
I love it. Yeah, dude. There's multiple comments of they're buying in, they loved you, you're genuine. This is awesome. That I always tell when I work with other projects or I'm having like kind of my initial and I think I told you this when we first talked is like MLC brand, if you want 10 to 15,000 empty followers or people to come follow your project, I ain't your person. But if you want a couple hundred people and about 30 to 50 people that seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if someone is going to buy one of these right now live on stream.
Believe it.
MLC is the person for you.
And that's what we like, man. I'm
Yeah.
not looking for hype. I'm not looking for hopium. I'm looking to drive in organic people that are interested in a long-term play. I don't need somebody that wants to come buy an NFT and flip it in a week or two. I want somebody that wants to be a part of a journey that's breaking the standard, man. We're not the norm. So I don't want the everyday person that's coming to flip or
Right.
dump people
Yeah.
that want to experience this. So I love it, man. MLC for life, baby.
Thanks, man.
Did you guys hear that? He just said hopium. Hopium is the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Feel
Oh
that.
man, I had to throw that out there, bro. You said hopium and I lost it. I haven't heard anybody say that. Fantastic. Yeah, dude, I just got this killer soundboard and I just want to use it the whole time. So that was my one sound alteration for the night. When you
Love
said
it.
hopium, I was like, I gotta do a voice alteration and say hopium.
Love it.
Dude, awesome, man. And I will close it. By the way, MLC fan that has watched this, please go into the Discord and say hi from MLC. I definitely will pop. And I always say this we've had so many projects on. It's obviously impossible for me to be in all these Discords. That would be 4 full-time jobs. I'll be in the Discord and from time to time I will come in and pop in and say hi. But to close this out, I always like to just end with my kind of closing comments. And, there's multiple things that stood out to me tonight. I'll start with, dude, thank you for sharing your upbringing. I am so impressed by your mindset at where you are in life. And dude, you're taking the leap and you're not going to college because everyone told you. You've already found a pretty badass place at your young age. And dude, you're already speaking like a tenured business person. So just literally keep up what you're doing. and you're going to be okay, man. You're going to be doing just fine. You're already doing really fine. And dude, just soak it up and learn and grow and continue to learn, continue to
Every day.
grow and fail and just be you, man. By being able to talk to you for this 2.5 hours, I can tell you're a good dude. You got your head on your shoulders right, and just keep on doing the right thing. You do the right thing for the right reasons. So that stood out to me, dude. Thoroughly impressed by you. Two, this project with the explanation of the tokenomics, the exchange, how you're doing this full ecosystem. I swear to you, I have not had we've had massive projects on here, right? None of them are doing it the way that you're doing it, and I think it really helps with the fact that this company has the foundation of the tokenomics behind it, and then you are, and I loved how you put it, you're a crypto solutions company. You're not wedging yourself into one thing of like, we're just a metaverse company, right? Like you're trying to figure out the best possible solution, and that you understand that an NFT is a business in itself, and you're trying to do the right thing. And it sounds like your CEO is a very sharp dude, is connected in the space too. Would love to have him back on the show. And then finally, dude, you're welcome back anytime. I do mean it as in this is the beginning of a friendship. This is how we treat our business. This is how we think it's successful. And I would be offended if we don't continue to talk through Discord and figure out multiple ways to collaborate in the future. So, dude, just appreciate you and appreciate the time.
Dude, thank you for your time and working with me. Like I said, I know we talked for quite some time to make all this happen. Had a obstacle or two, but we made it happen, and I'm blessed to be here. Like, this was a wonderful experience, and I think I really needed it as well, just to be able to kind of kick back and just let loose for a little bit. And so it was nice.
Next time we'll do it. We're gonna do it in real person too. When I come out there, I'm gonna get your deets, and we'll have to meet up, drink.
Yeah, we have a whole studio here. We'll shoot a podcast.
Hell yeah, dog! We'll do a live podcast from the Dev 6 team.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, dude. That would be amazing. I'm so excited. But with all of that being said, dude, family, appreciate you. First ever YouTube only stream. We were 25 people plus strong the entire time, over 30 people. That's insane because all of our followings on Twitch. I am excited that we made the move to YouTube. We're going to be more organic. We're going to be easier to find. And we're just going to keep on believing and building and doing all of the right things to bring the best content and amazing people and amazing projects to you in the future. Maddie is on vacation. We will not be streaming Thursday night like usual. We might be back on Sunday. Pay attention to our socials. We will keep you updated with our schedule. We have a full rack of guests over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Really cool stuff coming. Website, I'm working on it. I'm hoping it'll be launched soon, and that will then give you visibility into our future schedule. I will have the schedule up on our website, and you'll be able to just go onto our website. And with all that being said, we had an amazing time. We love you all.
Midlife crisis is out.